Good morning, Gears. It is Saturday morning. It's starting to get on the later side of the morning. It's like 10:35. I've got my coffee, which I need to move to this side of my desk so I can actually reach it. It is Saturday morning, and yeah, I'm here playing Gears. You're seeing me fresh off of a morning workout. I hope my mic's in the right spot. I'm starting to work out in the mornings. I think I talked about it in the last episode, where I'm really trying to focus on just getting healthier, like losing weight. I got shit on. Losing weight and really just trying to be better, you know? I'm tired of like watching rebroadcasts of like events. This is really what triggers it, is I'm tired of watching rebroadcasts of events and looking at myself and going, God damn, that's me? Like, holy shit, look at my stomach. Like, I should be cosplaying Santa Claus. Oh, I rolled into him and jammed my gun. So my goal is to cut down some weight. I've been dieting for about 2 weeks, which I don't, like I said, I don't remember if I talked about it in the last Good Morning Gears, but it's going pretty well. I'm down almost 11 or 12 pounds as of this morning when I weighed myself before my workout. I'm doing like a low carb diet, not like keto or anything like crazy. Just really trying to focus on like eating like not a bunch of fat, like not like snacks and shit, like just good food, you know, like good proteins, like chicken and stuff, and vegetables like with every meal, and you know, all that good stuff. Like yesterday I was actually pissed off. So for dinner I had a smoothie that was whey protein, spinach, strawberries, blueberries, peanut butter, ice, almond milk. He's so hurt. I'm taking that kill. That was mine. You can cap the hill though. Yeah, and it worked. I went down another pound. But that was just because I was mad I gained a pound the night before. Long story. I talked about it on my stream last night. So yeah, it's going well, and I'm trying to start working out in the mornings. So normally my morning routine is wake up like probably around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Depends on how long my dog lets me sleep. Oh, I choked. I recovered. Wake up around then, walk my dog, and then bring her back in and feed her. And then after I feed her, you know, get ready, go to work, make my coffee, go to work, or get like ready for the day, then go to work, and you know, so on and so forth. But I think throwing in my workout in the morning will just kind of, it'll suck because I'll have to wake up earlier, but it will be good in terms of it'll get me moving earlier in the day. And I feel like it'll give me more energy throughout the day. Like I can come up with a billion excuses why at the end of the day I don't need to work out, or can't work out, or don't want to work out. So I feel like doing it first thing in the morning will help eliminate those potential excuses as well. You know what I mean? Like, end of the day I could be like, oh, I'm tired, or oh, there was a really long day at work, or oh, I did a bunch of physical stuff at work, I don't need it, which doesn't happen that often, but I could justify it and be like, oh, I pushed my DXRacer down the hallway, I don't need to go to the gym because you know, I'm lazy like that. So I could do a million excuses why I don't need to work out when I get home. Like, oh, I walk my dog so many times, whatever. But I think doing it in the morning is going to be the right choice for me. And I apologize. I know I probably look like a complete, absolute fucking mess. But like I said, I woke up this morning, walked my dog. It was raining, yay. And then brought her in, fed her, crated her, went and worked out, and then came back and made my cup of coffee. Literally sat down. Like, I went gym, washed my hands, washed my face, and then poured my coffee, and now I'm here. I know he's behind me. I don't know what this guy's doing, but whatever. Damn. I shouldn't have pushed that. So a lot of you are probably still confused on like what the point of this series is, this Good Morning Gears, and basically every one of these episodes is going to be uploaded like in advance so that it can go live early in the morning, and hopefully it's just something that you can kind of sit back, relax, and watch while you're having your morning cup of coffee and you're getting ready for your day. You know, I know that like, you know, getting ready for the day alone is kind of sometimes a little, like, you know, sometimes you just want to hear some like noise. Like a lot of people listen to podcasts or whatever, and this isn't quite a podcast, but this is, you know, kind of similar in regards to me talking. It's just got gameplay with it too, so, and hopefully good gameplay. I mean, I'm slowly working my way back up to being decent at this game, so it's a process. Maybe I'll be in shape by the time I'm actually decent at this game again. So yeah, you know, something for you to turn on and to enjoy while you're having your coffee, getting ready for your work day, whatever the case may be. And you know, we can kind of wake up together. Good morning, you know. And hopefully I'll have like things to talk about, so I'm not just like, I don't want it to be a video series where I'm randomly talking about, you know, just like stuff that could be of no interest to anybody but me. Like I want to talk about stuff that's not like in a again, not like in a podcast or a talk show sense, but in a like just have things that are relevant or might be interesting to think about. Like for me, when oops, sorry, bumped the microphone a little bit there. For me, when I'm in the like in the morning, I make my coffee, and then I usually turn on the Joe Rogan podcast, not like live or anything like that. I don't know when it goes live, but I don't even know if he does it live. But I will listen to the Joe Rogan podcast on YouTube, like full episodes, while I'm showering and getting ready for my day, and it helps me in terms of like just start thinking, like start using my brain. I start thinking about like the topics that they're talking about. Like a lot of times I like the episodes where like he's talking to like intellectuals. Like I think my absolute all-time favorite episode that I've listened to so far was when he had Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever his name is on there. That dude is a brilliant like physicist educator guy, and it was just super interesting conversation. Like that guy's mindset towards everything is just like really ideal. I almost didn't shoot in time. Wow, that one, I guess it wasn't a one shot, he had Lancer me some, but still. Guys hitting shots. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the goal, is to be somewhat relatively interesting for more than just mediocre gameplay, you know. So one of those topics I want to talk about is, and I was asked a lot. I streamed last night for the first time, which was super awesome. You guys who tuned in, thank you. It made the stream really special, coming back and having like 80 viewers or something like that. It was just crazy, like to have that kind of resurge. Like I didn't expect, I expected maybe 30, because I haven't streamed since March 20th, I think somebody said. So the fact that I came back and had like 80 concurrent, I mean, I know that's not a lot like in terms of like big streamers, but hell, I was happy with it. That was used to be like my kind of average, like my consistent average when I was streaming every day. So it was just super awesome to see the support. I had few people resub, so I got to see my new notifications in action. Jeez. Damn, he got behind me. Oh, that guy got destroyed. So yeah, it was super awesome. But anyways, I streamed last night, and one of the things that kept coming up when I was streaming, or one of the questions I kept getting asked, because it's, you know, current relevant topic of discussion for Gears. Oh my god, what did I just do to that smoke? Was the topic of Spacestation Gaming and their whole debacle with Marsh leaving. What? I got 70 for that. And the whole topic of him leaving and why he left and what my thoughts on it were, and it's super interesting because I think this is the first time, at least publicly, that we've seen with any of the top teams in Gears of War where there's been an issue of what's the best way to put it, like an issue of maybe not race, but just like slurs, like offensive racial slurs being used in a derogatory way towards teammates that then causes teammates to leave the team. I can't think of any other time in Gears, at least, where anything like that has happened, and it seems kind of crazy to me that that situation arises. You know, like I watched the video that Marsh posted, so you know, I'm as educated about it, I feel, as anybody who's not there can be. And again, you have to keep in mind that, like, we don't know, we know basically one side of it, right? So all we can do is kind of make educated assumptions. We can't make any real judgment or anything based on what's been presented to us, just because it's only once. We don't have any idea, and I'm not accusing Marsh of saying anything, but we don't have any idea what he's said in the past towards Phelpsy. We don't have any idea what other players on the team have said. We have no idea the circumstances around this situation that caused this. You know what I mean? And why is this kid AFK in spawn sending me messages? Jeez, man. So it's really interesting to me, and it's interesting from a very neutral perspective. It's tragic that it's happened, and no matter what the circumstance is, I don't ever think that kind of language or verbiage should be used towards any person, let alone towards a teammate, somebody, you know, you're supposed to be relying on and working with every single day to win hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is a team that, it's not like they were a bottom of the pack team. They aren't like a team that comes from Europe every event and just gets shit on. They're a team that's coming up like top 3, top 4, like every event for the last 3 events. So like they actually had like a chance to win, unlike pretty much every other foreign team other than maybe OpTic Mexico. So it's really crazy to me to see that that kind of situation arises with a team like that after so much success, especially over scrimmages. So I don't know. It's really bad, and I feel like again, we don't know everything that led into it, but from what I could tell from the video, it was what he said was said multiple times. It was said in a clearly derogatory, like attack kind of manner. Like he wanted to hurt him with his words. And it wasn't like he said it once and then he was like kind of realized it and he changed what he said. Like everybody said some fucked up shit in their life. Everybody has said something that they go, oh, I shouldn't have said that, and then they kind of change it. You know what I mean? Hell, I've done that before. So like nobody's innocent of that kind of thing. But in this case, it was okay. Sure, you can have Sniper Man. In this case, it was said and then it repeated multiple times. And I just don't think that. I don't think that is the. I don't think there's any way to talk your way out of that. You know what I mean? Like, it was clear what the intent was. Like every single time he said that, he chose those words very deliberately. He said them like you could tell with the tone of it in his voice. He was angry. And again, we don't know what had been said before, but it was clear what his intent was. It was very clear what his intent was from all the context clues of that video. Now I don't know if that's something that can be resolved, right? I think Marsh did the right thing in terms of standing up for himself and going, you know what? The success of this team is not worth me feeling attacked and belittled by my teammates. So I'm done. And honestly, to be real with you guys for a little bit, I think Icy had kind of a similar mindset when he left our team. I think he thought that the success of our team, he felt like he wasn't respected on this team, which was his one of his original reasons for leaving. And none of us to this day can figure out why he didn't feel respected, because we all told him multiple times that we respected him. We showed him that we respected him. We changed auto bans because he didn't want to play maps. We changed spots because he didn't want to play spots. So logically, there's no reason that he should have felt that way, but he felt that way. So clearly there was an issue. And he felt that it was a strong enough issue where he needed to change his situation and it would be better for him. And I respect that. It sucks, but I respect that. And I think that we're kind of seeing a similar situation here where Marsh was going, okay, we're the #1 team in Europe. And I think he was like more recent, like he joined right before Mexico or something like that. Maybe a little bit earlier than that. My memory is kind of like foggy there. But he was, you know, he joined this team. They're being successful. They played well in Mexico. They played well they played really well in Vegas, and they played well in New Orleans. And now he's in a situation where he's getting on to practice. He feels that his teammates don't have the same, or at least one of his teammates in particular doesn't have the same drive or the same energy in the same mindset towards practice that he does. And not only that, that same teammate is attacking him. So I commend him for standing up. I mean, that's a tough decision. If you think about it as a competitor, right? As a true competitor, your goal is to do anything possible to win. And sometimes a lot of competitors sacrifice morals for that. They sacrifice friendships. They sacrifice like time with loved ones and family. They sacrifice things that they believe in, all for the sake of being closer to what their goal is as a competitor, and that's winning a championship. And he gave all of that up to be closer. Not to be closer, sorry. He gave all of that up to you know, stand by his belief that he deserves a certain amount of respect. I can't do that move to that guy ever. That's twice that it's failed. 3 times actually. So you know what? It's tragic because it's a talented team. They were giving other regions hope. Them and OpTic Mexico are giving other regions a hope, like, hey, like we could be just as good as the NA teams. And now that they're having this issue, who knows if they're going to be as good? I mean, he was a big factor in terms of their success, in my opinion. Can you get off me? Holy God. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Like, would you do the same thing? You're on a top 4 team in the world. Would you do the same thing and give that up because you don't like you don't believe in how your team is, specifically one person on your team is operating. And realistically, I was saying this on stream last night. I met Shondur very briefly in DreamHack Austin. He's a really cool guy, a really genuine, like down to earth, energetic guy with a good heart. And it would not surprise me if something happens as soon as he catches wind of all of this. It would not surprise me if there are repercussions towards the team or towards Phelpsy himself for what was said. Yeah, see, he can do it to me. I knew that was going to happen. I deserve to get no-no'd or humped or whatever he's going to do. More annoying he can be. We win off one, so... that was close. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys would do. Would you sacrifice that to I guess to stand by morals, or would you be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna tough this one out. Not tough it out's not the right word. I don't want to make it sound like he's weak. He's super strong for doing what he did. I'm just gonna ignore it, and I'm gonna keep pushing towards my goal of winning a championship. What would you guys do? Because I honestly don't know what my answer to that would be. I feel like part of me would be like, you know what, I'm not gonna tolerate this, and I would leave as well. But part of me would be like, like if my teammates started like just berating me constantly, with like super offensive stuff, like we all dig at each other. We're guys, like we're really close, so like that's kind of what we do. We all mess with each other and do little digs. But if it was something that was super, like it actually offended me and upset me, I don't know what I would do. That's a tough question to ask yourself. It's hard to kind of reflect on that and know what the right answer would be. It's really difficult. So yeah, I'll be curious to read the comments below on that one. I didn't shoot, because yeah, like I said, this one's a tough one. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Again, I commend Marsh for what he did, and I saw talks of him wanting to retire, wanting to step down and be done. And to quote our COD team, or Roger even, you hate to see it. I'm actually mad that I just said that. It would be really bad if he stepped down. He's a tremendous player. And it's just one of those times where it's like it's a shame, it's a waste. I told Shock the same thing when he was talking about stepping down and retiring or quitting a while ago. Like after we got Icy back, and we knew that he was only going to be banned for that regional. Shock was talking about retiring then, and I said, you know what, man, that would be a tremendous waste of talent. And he stayed competing, and he's one of the top 4 teams in the game, arguably. So I think Marsh could do it. I think Marsh, honestly, I think he could find his way onto an NA team. Like I could see him fitting onto a team like Ghost, because Ghost obviously needs something. I respect that he ran back and tried to pistol. So yeah, I could see him coming to an NA team like Ghost. I could see him going to Jack Reactions team. The question for me is, who does Space Station pick up? Like, who is their missing puzzle piece now that they have let go of Marsh? Because I don't know what the talent pool is like, but I know they've already had a significant amount of the players in the game on their roster at some point, like that are from Europe. Like Jack Reaction was originally on that roster like a long time ago. Ash was on that roster. J Rage, I think is his name, was on that roster, and those are some of like the big names in terms of Gears of War from Europe. So it'd be super interesting to see who they find as their fifth. I haven't seen them scrimming or watched their scrims, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's always interesting to see how these roster changes end up, and I think of like the top teams, this is one of the first ones. You know, Elevate made their changes. The Gosu crew basically disbanded. I'm excited to see, speaking of which, how the new roster with Toy Soldier and like that group does, because that roster looks like it could be decent on paper, like a top 8, top 6. What, sir? He's not moving. There you go. Yeah, so I mean that was kind of one of the big talking points I had in mind for this when I woke up this morning and started recording. Good Lancer, but I can do it too. This kid I think ran over this way. He flanked that. That was one of the main. What the hell was that? Huh. Okay. Sorry, I'm just a little taken aback by that one. So what else is going on? We have San Diego coming up end of September, and I'll probably talk about this one a lot. Our team hasn't really started practicing yet. We scrimmed a little bit since New Orleans, like maybe 4 or 5 nights worth. We've just had people like traveling and doing stuff a lot. So first we had oh, I'm dead. Yep. First we had Summons. Our Mental went out of town, and Summons went out of town at the same time, and then Summons flight, like, he booked the wrong flight. He booked 2 one-way flights to Chicago from Dallas, rather than a one-way flight there and a one-way flight back, or a return trip. Like, he booked 2 direct one-way flights from Dallas to Chicago to visit home, but on different dates. So like his return flight was technically a going flight again. Yeah. So it's I don't know, man. It's interesting to see the reactions of the community based on like 2Ks and scrims and things like that they see when I feel like our team hasn't really been practicing, you know, like for example, we scrimmed Ghost 2 nights ago, and they beat us up. I think they kicked our ass on 2 maps, the first 2 maps, and then it was like 7-4, 7-5 or something like that. Which, like, relative to like how the score normally is, that's an ass kicking. But then, oh no. But then we played map 3. No, we played map 3, and it was an ass kicking the other direction. So I think once teams like are fully like back into the rhythm, specifically our team is fully back into the rhythm of scrimming, you'll start to get a better feel of like how San Diego is actually going to look in terms of like where the teams are at. The one team that I will say, you know, Echo Fox is actually like doing really well. We've been playing awfully, and I think that's due to a lack of scrims and just a lack of playing in general. But Echo Fox has been playing really well. Like they're kind of back to their old selves, where they're doing a really good job of capitalizing on our sloppiness. For a while there, if we were sloppy, we could still just outslay teams because teams are so new. But I think Echo Fox is really starting to find their groove, and it's allowing them to really capitalize on those mistakes, the sloppy plays that we make, so on and so forth. Rated. So it'll be interesting once everything kind of settles down. Alex comes back on Tuesday, and we're gonna start practicing like hard on that day. So that'll be good for everyone involved. But obviously that is the end of the episode, since we have reached the end of the game. A nice 7-4 win first thing in the morning. I'll probably be finishing my coffee in the shower. If you don't drink iced coffee in the shower, you're not living. It literally tastes better. I know I've said this on stream and people think I'm weird. I'm not joking. Okay, if you're this far into the video, 1, I appreciate you. 2, you need to try it. But that is going to do it. That is going to do it for today's episode of Good Morning Gears. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a good morning and a good start to your day. Make sure you subscribe down below for more videos like this and videos with the team and all kinds of content. You can go check out my stream and follow that so you get notifications when I'm live. Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. I really appreciate the support, guys. We're so close to 10,000 subs, so I'm hoping to see that coming in the next week or two. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next episode. Good Morning Gears.